Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to show you an efficient spreading based brown mushroom farm. So a couple of weeks ago I already showed you how you can get a lot of brown mushrooms quickly in early game, which is good enough for most projects. But what if you need a lot of brown mushrooms for some reason? Maybe you're planning a multi-layered swamp-based slime farm and you need a couple thousand brown mushrooms all of a sudden. Maybe you're also not in early game anymore, and maybe it's time to build a brown mushroom farm anyway. So I'm gonna show you a really nice one. But first, a load of science and explanation how mushroom spreading works. A lot of people are actually telling me instead of placing down the brown mushroom, I should just place down a couple and wait until it fully spread in the swamp slime form. Well, that's not really how it works, otherwise all your worlds would be covered in brown mushroom at some point. And red one, of course, so red mushroom spreading is the same. So here we got one mushroom that can spread in this 9 by 9 area, at the same layer or one layer below and one layer above. On Podzol, Mycelium and Nylium, they can spread in any light level, and if you have light level 12 or lower, they could also spread on other blocks. But if you have 4 mushrooms within this 9 by 9 area of the initial mushroom, then the mushroom spreading would stop. So it's not possible to just wait until they've grown everywhere, because rather soon than later they will stop spreading. This is what a popular spreading based mushroom farm would look like. So you have alternating 4 red and brown mushrooms, because they're at least 5 blocks apart here, so this mushroom wouldn't be affected by this one here, so those 4 could grow one and then need to harvest it. But Methods was recently looking into making a brown only mushroom farm and finding the most efficient setup for this. So a lot of setups actually just have 1 block on the side that the mushrooms could grow to. Methods was also wondering if expanding this area to 4 blocks would be a lot more efficient. So I did a lot of testing. We're in a test world here. And here you can see the testing towers. So we got set up here where the mushrooms could spread only 1 block. And then we got a setup where they could spread 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and 4 blocks. But the amount of cedar mushrooms is always the same. In the command blocks here, as soon as a mushroom spreads to the side here, would get rid of it and count 1 or add 1 to the scoreboard. And let's just take a look at the results here. This was running for 56 million ticks. That's quite a long time. Over a couple hundred hours. Okay, so let's take a look at the results here. So with 1 block to spread to, we get 0.375 mushrooms per hour per cedar mushroom. Okay, after 2 white one, 0.589. A little bit more of the 3. And with the full range, we get 0.635 shrooms per hour. So compared to the 1 white setup, 69% efficiency increase. Nice. Alright, so as you can see, there's hardly any difference between 3 and 4. But compared to only 1 block, there's definitely a big difference. So it's kind of convenient to actually use the 4 white one, despite there not being a huge advantage compared to 3 white, because you can nicely tile it. So on the side of the 4 white one, you could put additional cedar mushrooms. They could also spread to the middle. So this was then the final setup that Methods decided to make a farm out of. The simplest way of harvesting would be just to flush the mushrooms away. And this would be the setup here, so we're using waterlogged trapdoors here on the side that keep the water in until we depower them. And they will open, break the mushroom, flush it to the side, and they get nicely flushed towards the corner here and fall down a dropped chute. Because of compactness, we decided to use more trapdoors here, but of course you could also just use blocks instead if that's maybe easier to place down. But usually it's actually quite easy to also use trapdoors. You can even get nicely down afterwards if you place them like this. Expanding the farm is also really simple. You just want to add another layer every second block basically, and continue with the pattern here. Okay, then trapdoors. There we go. And add another trapdoor here on the side of a water source. Okay, so when it comes to the wiring, there's 2 different ways of doing it. I like to do it just with this torch tower this alternating. Methods did it a little bit differently. I'm gonna show you it over there. The tower that goes up to sky limit. Okay, just add another trapdoor. Put water down. Make sure this is closed, and that's already the whole layer. Okay, so I had this torch tower arranged like this. Methods did it with target blocks. Take a look at that. So you could also do it like this with blocks on top and below the trapdoors. So you could also power 2 of those at the same time, just with a single redstone dust. And then just have a torch tower going up like this on the side. And then every 4th block you have another target layer and redstone dust. But the downside is, of course, you would need target blocks for this, and they could be expensive. It's a lot of wheat you need to put into it. In case you don't have a good wheat farm yet, this might be a bit annoying, so you can also use the other torch tower. Using Podzol, by the way, is not necessary, it's just the most convenient. But you could also use mycelium or even nylium instead. So mycelium and nylium doesn't get destroyed by flowing water. If there's a water source, it could destroy grass or mycelium below, but not even in case of the nylium. So this is safe to use. But you can also use pretty much any other block that isn't like a slab. So cobblestone block would be fine, but then you need to make sure that the light level is low enough, so you shouldn't place any light sources in there that have a light level higher than 12. For example, no glowstone blocks or torches, and you would want to build a roof on top. So we just here got the footprint of the farm, and it just extended by 2 on each side, so it's guaranteed that you have a skylight of 12 or lower. The pulse you send through the redstone torch tower here should be the equivalent of a wooden button, so 30 ticks. If you would use something like a stone button or just 20 ticks, it could happen sometimes that the item doesn't get flushed properly into the drop chute here on the side. So let's take a look at the redstone over here. You just use this pulse extender to send a pulse through the system that is long enough. Okay, then last question, what kind of clock should we use? Now, the more frequently you harvest, the more items you will get. Up to the point where you would just flush it all the time and there's no blocks the mushrooms can spread to because it's covered by water. But I did a little bit of testing. I used a hopper clock here that was completely filled with items, so this would be 4¼ minutes. And with a tower that goes up to sky limit, I was getting 895 brown mushroom per hour. Then I tried it with a half-filled clock, and I got 995 per hour, so about 100 more. And last I tried it with 76 items. That's pretty much exactly 1 minute. And with this, I got 1030 items per hour. So I would say the sweet spot is probably the half-filled hopper clock setup. This would be 2 minutes and roughly 7 seconds. So building such a mushroom farm tower up to sky limit is already quite a project. It should take you some time. But if you still can't get enough and want even more brown mushrooms, yeah, you can also expand it to the side. So you could build the second one right next to it. So here would be the next cedar mushrooms and all the redstone here again. So just, yeah, so even a bit of synergy. So yeah, 2 of those towers could share the spreader mushrooms here in between. Can also expand it this way. Easy if I show it over here. Expand it this way. Just need 4 blocks of space in between. I can't even place the mushrooms because no skylight is too high, and yeah, then you could also have the next tower here nicely on the side. Could fit in between. Alright, so this is my recommendation for a spreading-based brown mushroom farm. I've basically already given a tutorial. In case something's still unclear, I will provide a world download of this world here so you can check it out. Alright, thanks guys for watching and see you next time. Bye bye!